Hello guys, this is Dr. Lior Bar-El, and I am so ticked off today, guys. I want to just make sure that you guys fully understand what's going on. I kind of, I said it before. I said that I don't think it's going to come a little bit later. I still am having hope, though, and I'll tell you why, and we'll get into that. But what Nintendo just did right now cost them a little bit in the stock market as well. And we're going to talk about everything, guys. What was expected, what was not expected, all these stupid rumors I was telling you guys not to follow, all of these things. But we're going to also talk about what I do believe might happen, especially right now when the stocks are what it is. So let's get right into it. So guys, I recommend actually investing in Nintendo right now. Now, why am I saying that? So many rumors, the Bloomberg report, all of that. Believe me, there is going to be a new Switch on the way. There's definitely going to be a new Switch. Now, whether this is, this is it or revision, we don't know. Now, I'm going to explain something to you. Right now, we don't know much about this Switch. All we do know is about speculation and a little bit of the tidbits that that they gave out. A custom Tegra chip. Guys, you know what that is. Basically, what they did is what the PSP did when they came out with their new version. Except this time, from before, from the PSP, they went from OLED to regular, LCD. This time, you're doing it the reverse. Now, they need to do away with the old Switch. Now, why? Because it's a hacking paradise. It's pretty much the PSP on the Switch. I mean, that's what it is. People could play Wii games now on the Switch, and they want to eventually port that and make people like us, the suckers, pay $60 for it and act like it's a new game. Anyways, I'm not going to go too much into that nonsense, but what we do know is it's a custom Tegra chip. It's the same piece of crap that was in the original Switch. Again, the Nintendo of Japan, just like Sega of Japan, the PlayStation wouldn't have existed. I gave you guys the whole lesson on that. The PlayStation wouldn't have existed until Sega double-crossed Sony, and that's what pretty much happened. When they double-crossed them, Sony set up yours, and boom! We got the PlayStation, right? Okay. Same exact thing is happening right here, except what they're doing is they're pretty much leading, they're allowing these rumors to go through. A lot of people thought, believed in these rumors. Third-party developers even said, a few of them, that they can't wait to develop for a 4K model of the, of the Switch. I told you guys I don't believe it's going to be 4K because first off, if it's over 32 inches and above, 4K, you will enjoy it. If it's below 32 inches, guess what? You're not going to notice a difference between full HD and that. What I did say I would hope that they would have is in the docking station a way to kind of like they do on laptops when you put the turbo on the Predator laptop and it kind of sort of like boosts the performance. So what I was hoping to do for them to do is to make a docking station that could have the Switch go right in there and then you could play it on 4K, thus making it good to upgrade and then making it full HD on the handheld. So then you would say it's worth the upgrade for a guy who's using it in a dock or a person who's playing it on the go. In this situation, what we do know, okay, what the little stuff that they gave us, first off, we need to ask ourselves a question. Bluetooth, what the hell? That should have been involved in the original one, but they were cutting corners. Now, it's $350. I have a feeling Bluetooth's going to be there. I have a feeling there's a lot of things they're not telling us right now. Okay, so I have a feeling towards a certain time, or they're trying to see how the public would react, okay? So basically, they released this poop version that is only good, from what we know, is only good for those who are playing it on the go. Those who are playing on dock, don't even bother buying it. It's the same piece of crap. In fact, it's even worse because you can't even hack this. But, even though I don't hack my Switch, but you can't even hack it. You don't even have the potential to hack it because this one is a closed-door version of the Tegra 1. Again, Nintendo of Japan didn't listen to Nintendo of America when they told them this thing was a piece of crap. Okay, literally, they said don't use the Tegra 1 chip. It has a lot of backdoors and everything. And of course, they didn't listen because, you know, Nintendo of Japan, just like Sega of Japan, thinks they know better than everybody else. So they went and used the Tegra 1, and then guess what happened? Everybody hacked it like they did on the original Tegra 1. So they did it on the Tegra 1, and that's why they started hacking, doing hacking on the Switch. Anyways. Fast forward to now. Now they got a closed version, what's called a custom version of the Tegra 1 chip. Now, guys, I don't know if all of this information is correct. Again, they just gave us little tidbits. Now, what I think they're doing is they're testing out the market. If they see the stocks are going down, if they see there's no request for it, they see nobody's buying this piece of junk, okay? What's going to happen is they're going to say, well, we didn't tell you guys, but this has this is 4K. Now, they have also vents in the dock. Okay, now granted, you have LAN connection that goes directly in like anybody cares. But if you're living in other countries, not everybody has good Wi-Fi. Not everybody has good stuff, so you might want to go with that kind of docking station. But then you got to ask yourself, does these vents, do they have a fan in them? Are they gear? Why did they show the vent in the dock station? Perhaps maybe because it is what I was hoping it would be, a 4K able device. Or maybe it's not, but they're trying to see what the reaction is. Now, if nobody's going to buy it, the stocks are going down. Nobody cares about this junk, and they're going to see that the stock is going down, which already, if you look at the stock market, I'm an investor, it went down a few bucks. It's not a joke. It actually went down a few bucks right after they made the stupid announcement of the new the revision of the Switch, because guess what? Now a lot of third-party developers are probably like, we don't care about Nintendo anymore because this is a joke. They're unlike every 5 years coming out with a new system. These idiots are going to release, are going to want it to be every 2 years. A new stupid revision is going to come out, and we're going to have every idiot buying it because that's the way it is. We're all idiots because we're Nintendo fans, right? That's the way they assume it is. That's really what what's happening. That, you know, it's going to end up being what, if they come out with a revision, it's going to end up being what I told you guys in the first place that I said they shouldn't do, and now they're going to do it. Just like the 3DS, when they came out with the newer 3DS, only 2 games were working on it. That was great. And then everything else was pretty much the same thing. And then, of course, the Nintendo Switch came out. So what they could do is, this is the scenario. They could release this piece of junk, and then people will buy a little bit here. Most people won't even care. And then what'll happen is, you know, they'll say, okay, in another year or 6 months, people are buying the Switches and getting suckered into it. And within another year, or even less than that, they release the Switch 2. Okay, that's literally what's going to happen, because nobody's going to care for a system that's only good on the go. Again, Japan, New York, Japan, Nintendo of Japan is thinking only for the Japanese. Japanese market, like New Yorkers, we're mostly on the road all the time. We play it on the go. But everywhere else, in many other states all over America and all over the world, people are playing in their house on a docking station, okay? When that happens, you don't have any incentive to buy a Nintendo Switch right now. So what's going to happen is they're going to realize the fall of everything, and they're going to go and they're going to come out with a new Switch within a year, okay? Or if this thing actually does sale every 2 years, you're going to see a new one and absolutely nothing. It's going to be a Nintendo making a big mockery of all of its people. Now, I told you guys, what Nintendo tends to do is they're walking on eggshells for all their third-party developers, trying to please them. Then they're doing it for their stockholders. But what they forgot about is the customer, as always. If they actually give a damn about the customer, they'd come out with their own WWE line of games. They'd come out with a bunch of games that's exclusive. They wouldn't release just ports and release them at $60. They would actually give a damn about the customer. And the customers are what makes the stocks go up. The customer is what made the Nintendo Seal back in the 80s and the late 80s, made the Nintendo Seal the most sought out thing from all gaming history. Like this thing, everybody wanted the Nintendo Seal, because the fans wanted it. But somehow Nintendo lost its goals. They don't care about the fans anymore. They don't. In fact, when they were telling us, the fans, hey guys, you remember Reggie? We're not concentrating on graphics. Nobody likes graphics. We're concentrating on making the game enjoyable. Really? Is that why you released games like WWE 2K18, Arc, and all these other, even Hyrule, you know, that suffer from performance issues, you idiots? Don't you understand? This is what's happening, Nintendo, right now. Hope they hear me. I doubt they do. But that's the thing. This is why, again, I'll never be a Nintendo ambassador. Even if they offered it to me, I would laugh in their face. This is disgusting. And I'm telling you, what they did to their fan base is disgusting with the Wii U. Okay, and then they come out with this, and they're porting, selling games at $60, like it's like Tropical Freeze when it first came out. I couldn't believe it. I got it for y'all. Keep those requests coming. I'm going to get it. I work 3 jobs. Trust me, I'm making this happen. But I'm a little bit ticked off right now. So, that is the scenario. So then they're going to release another, the other Switch in another year. Now, here's the second scenario. They see that nobody gives a crap about this, which I hope people don't buy it. I really hope they don't. Of course, you'll have people that do. And I don't blame you. If you're looking for a Switch and it's always out of stock, you might want to go with this newer version, obviously. But I'm hoping that their sales suffer greatly. Now, why am I saying that? Because Nintendo's Switch, now I know we all Nintendo fans probably want to squeeze out as much as life from the Switch because we don't want to go to the next system yet. Some of us just bought it last year. Some of us bought it this year. I get you. Believe me, I love you and I get you. But the thing is, Nintendo lived its life. Now, the Switch lived its life. It's time for the next Switch. It's time for a different Switch, a 4K Switch. Okay, you could still use that Switch, the old one. You could hack it, and believe me, you'll have a great time playing Wii games on it, and hopefully Wii U and a bunch of other games on it. It'll be great. And you won't have to pay $60 for any ports that are released, because you'll have them already. I owned them, and I had to rebuy them for the Switch. Ridiculous. Anyways, so that's my take on it. And so what I think is going to happen is they're going to say, well, nobody is buying our poop. Our stocks are going down, which it is right now. Everybody's ticked off with us. That's why we put the vents there. So let's put a fan on this baby, okay? Maybe we won't have it out in October. We'll push it a little bit. And maybe we'll release a 4K version on a dock. Give them a little something extra. After all, we're trying to phase out the old one, but we want to give the customer an illusion that we actually care about the customer. So we're going to give them a little bit more instead of just a little upgrade on the screen. And, pretty much that's it. An OLED, which is great, but if you have the Switch and everything in the inside is the same, it's going to be a piece of junk in another year, believe me, because all the other systems are going to completely steamroll the hell out of it, as they're already doing in many respects. But anyways, you're not going to see great games like any WWE game that's going to be played great on this thing. You're not going to see anything because Nintendo doesn't even have the cojones to actually... That's right, I said cojones. To actually come out with exclusive games and make deals with WWE, because WWE will tell them, we don't believe you could pull it off. We don't want you to make our franchise look bad. That's literally what they're going to tell them. They're going to look at the hardware. They're going to have their people look at it and laugh at it. When now all the other games for the PlayStation 5 and everything is blowing it the hell out of the roof. This is the time Nintendo had to come out with a new system in October to have it ready for the holidays. This is what they release. Unfreaking real. Now, so that's the scenario. They'll say, hey guys, we didn't give you all the information. We give you only some. It's going to have 4K. It's going to have this. It's going to have that. Then you give the customer the illusion that you give a damn. And then they'll do away with the old Nintendo Switch. And it'll be great. It'll phase out and everybody will be happy. Now, here's the thing. That's phase number... that's possibility number 2. Possibility number 3 is this. They end up releasing it, okay? They end up telling you guys that this is what it is and that's what it is, and hopefully they get it and whatever. And this is going to be the dumbest thing if they do this. And I really hope and pray to God they don't do something stupid like this. But you saw how fast they pulled out the Wii U. They release this thing, it doesn't sell, and it tanks. And then within 6 months, we get another one. Another Switch. Possibility number 4. They're just going to keep coming out with new freaking revisions for the rest of their damn lives and try to drag and squeeze about 10 years out of this piece of junk. And I'm calling it, look, I love my Nintendo Switch. I don't call it a piece of junk. I'm sorry. I shouldn't say that. I don't call it a piece of junk. I absolutely love my Switch. I would have loved it more if it could play the games that I loved in my, in other systems like the PlayStation 5 on it. Now, I'm not expecting Nintendo to be the PlayStation 5. Would be nice if they come out with a new system that had the graphics of PlayStation 4. Or at least PlayStation 3. Okay, some of the games are like PlayStation 3, but most of them, they just don't have the beef for it. Now, yes, the games are enjoyable. I love Mario. All the Mario games, I'm a big fan of Mario. And all the Nintendo exclusive games. Unfortunately, the third-party developers, what they don't understand, Nintendo, is you have to first do what the fans want. What the fans want, then the third-party developers will jump at you for a chance to actually develop for you. And then the no-namer third-party developers, which are having their time on the Switch. But they'd be able to make more enjoyable games. We want graphics. Yes, Reggie. You know, thank God you're done with. But we want graphics. Most of the people in Nintendo, they did a whole freaking survey on it. Everyone that owns a freaking any Nintendo system loved graphics. We want graphics. We don't want washed out pixie hair. We don't want Mortal Kombat, a dumbed down version that looks like something out of the Super Nintendo. We want something that looks good. We want freaking hair that looks like hair. We want sweat that looks like sweat. We don't want pixelated versions of poop running around. We're sick of it. Okay? We want to play on a 4K screen. Okay? We don't want an up-res. We want a freaking natural 4K playing on the dock, having it cool down through that. And this is why I think they put that vent there. I do believe they did it to see. I really think, this is just my mind. Maybe they're doing it for a future revision that's going to have 4K. Okay? But I have a feeling that they did that to see how the market responds. Now, if the market responds well, they're not going to come out with a 4K version. If the party, if everybody responds bad, they're going to have already the system ready to be retrofitted, you know, fitted for a 4K, for everything for 4K. And that's my take on it. So I'm hoping that's what Nintendo does. I'm just really ticked off, I got to tell you, because I don't believe in rumors. I freaking hate rumors. But, you know, Bloomberg did have it in his thing, okay, in his report. So definitely they're working on a new Switch. So if I were you guys, this is what I do. I would wait, okay? Maybe they don't want people already pre-ordering the hell out of it, and, you know, it's going to be, by the time it's holidays, it'll be the next, if you guys remember Elmo, well, I just dated myself, and nobody could get that damn thing. People were killing each other for it. I think somebody even died for it. Ridiculous. Imagine being up there, and they're like, what'd you die? Hey, I just jumped off the Empire State Building. What'd you die from? I tried to get an Elmo. Anyways, the thing is, this is what maybe they're doing. I don't know. There's definitely a 4K hardware that they purchased and they're toying with, okay? Now, whether it's for this or whether it's for a next one, the next one, if it's not this one, the next one's going to be pretty darn close, okay? So if I were you guys, I would not purchase this new one. Unless you don't have a Switch, then go for it. Unless you have the original Switch, I still don't say go for it. The original that I have until now, and it still didn't brick because, you know, it's all 2 hours of battery. I think now without my battery bank, I'll probably get an hour squeezed out of it. I gotta admit, though, it lasted me for this long, so I mean, I'm happy with it. But I'm not gonna want to get that 350. That's ridiculous. Why would I want to spend 350 on a system that barely gives you anything except a 7-inch screen, still not bezel-less? My God, you have phones that are bezel-less. They couldn't do it with this. Give me a break. And guys, I'm sorry to say this. You come out with a 7-inch screen. You don't come out with a little bigger Joy-Cons. You don't come out with drift-free Joy-Cons. You don't come out with a new freaking D-pad. You don't come out with anything that is different. You release the same piece of junk, and yes, it is junk. Okay, the only thing you corrected probably in the docking station is that it won't scratch your damn system or overheat it anymore. That people were complaining that their stuff was melting, okay, and had cracks in the back. Unbelievable. Nintendo, wow. So you come out with a new dock that could now have LAN connection right away. Okay, great. Fine. What else? You guys give us nothing. And the drifting, those controllers, to make it at $80, you should be ashamed of yourselves. Should have made it 40 at most, and that's even highway robbery. And it's drifting nonstop. Now you're charging $350. You're giving us the Nintendo Switch that we should have had in the first place. That's literally what it is. And you still release the same drifting issued controllers. What a piece of crap. And guys, Metroid is coming out. I really do not believe Nintendo can be this stupid to do this to us. To do this even for their company. But then again, Nintendo of Japan, Sega of Japan, pretty much anything that is game related of Japan always screws up. Okay, and it's not the Japanese, because people, this isn't a attack on the Japanese, because this people that work there are from all over the place. It's just they're thinking there in their empire, okay, their Nintendo empire, they're looking at it according to Japanese population. They're not looking at it in a worldwide market, okay? So it's like when the PSP went out of business here in the United States, they still released games for it that were mostly Japanese games, and people liked it there. But Sony understood that people here do not have the same taste as people in Japan. People in Europe doesn't have the same taste as America or Japan. Yeah, it's different. And you got to kind of cater to all of that when you're coming out with a game system if you want to target the world. Stupid. No, this is how it is. Everybody in Japan here likes it this way, so everybody's gonna like. No, okay, it doesn't. This is stupid. This is completely stupid. I still play my 3DS. I love it. Is it my go-to console? No, it's not. All right, in Japan, they're still playing the 3DS. In fact, my cousin actually lives in Tokyo. He said they still play the PSP original old games. They're still doing that, and that's great. That's beautiful. I love my PSP. Again, that's not my go-to. Most of them there do. This is a culture, and that's great. But you got it when you're coming out with a game system. It should be for everybody, and that's the problem. That's how Sega of Japan screwed up and went bankrupt. That's how Nintendo of Japan went stupid when they released the Wii U. What they did over there, everything flopped, and now they're doing the same. They came out with a champion called the Nintendo Switch, and they were doing great and great and great. And instead of releasing another one, this is what we get. And you know what? If they released another one that played 4K and everything and slowly phased it out, people would have said they are better than Sony. They are better than Microsoft, because they didn't just come out with another system and say, screw you to the old guys that just bought the system. They're saying, we're slowly going to phase you out, but in the meantime, you can play the same games we are. It's just going to be not 4K. You know, something like that. Not sped up even 4K or whatever, up boost, and you know, without a boost, like the AMD processors have. They have a certain boost that overclocks it and then and then goes back to regular clocking. Depends on the need for the system. That would have been good to have that even into that system as well. Very pitiful, Nintendo. Now, I know they are experimenting with the new hardware. That's not a rumor. That's definitely happening. Now, whether or not they release it now is an issue. I just don't think you should buy it in any of these scenarios. Now, the reason I'm saying that is, first off, if you're on dock mode, unless you're really into online and you need LAN and you don't have good Wi-Fi, because again, I'm thinking of the whole world, not like Nintendo, just of Japan, then yeah, I would say go ahead, go for it. But if you're not, it really isn't beneficial to you if you're a dock player. If you're going out and about and you never had a Switch and whatever, you go ahead and get it. You want to upgrade? All the love to you. Go ahead and upgrade. I'm saying I'm giving you guys my opinion. I don't think you should upgrade at all, because I have a feeling this is not going to do as well as they think it is. And what's going to happen is, in the end, they're going to release the new Switch. Either they're going to announce this and add 4K and whatever, or the bad scenario is it's going to be released, whether 6 months when they abandon it or in a year or whatever. Okay? And you're going to all be surprised that you spent $350 on a system and now there's a $400 system on its way, and you're going to be like, I should have never bought this in the first place. I just don't think it's logical. And a lot of stock investors, including myself, I mean, you could clearly see what happened. I'm still holding on to my Nintendo stock. Many people sold it. Already the stock market, already in the stocks, it went down, a good amount of dollars there, and I'm thinking it's going to be worse and worse. I think what's happening now is people are holding on to the hope that I have, which is hopefully they see how stupid they are and they, kind of start giving more information, because they didn't announce Bluetooth. And I think if Nintendo doesn't have Bluetooth on this one, they're as stupid as it could possibly get. But I think they're holding some information from us. I'm having hope. Some others are having hope, and I think that's why they're not totally crushed yet. But once they release this poop, I'm telling you, what's going to happen is it's not going to do well. And it's funny because the president of Nintendo said they're thinking their sales will even go up. What up? You guys did well. You were the top selling system. What up? You don't even have enough to fill up shelves right now. People are trying to get the system from you. What are you talking about up? What is there up to do at this point? Release the next damn system. Okay? Phase it out slowly so you respect those, and you'll be looked at as honorable compared to all the other gaming companies. But this is stupid. Anyways, that's all I got to say about that. My advice, don't buy it. If you want to, do it, but my advice is don't buy it. See what happens. And what I would do is invest in Nintendo when it gets crushed, okay? When it goes down in the stock market a lot, start investing in it because eventually they'll come out with a new Switch and it's going to skyrocket again, okay? Hopefully. So that's my take on it. Let me know what you guys think. Really curious. You guys know I work 3 jobs to make it happen. I'm not a paid-for reviewer. I'm not a Nintendo ambassador, okay? I'm not. I will never accept any deal from Nintendo. I'm not a paid-for reviewer. I'm a person who tells you the truth. That's the reason I opened this channel in the first place. And I love you guys for offering me Patreon services, but I'd rather you keep the money, as I always tell you in every video. Because right now we live in uncertain times. Buy hardware that's good. Buy a computer. Buy that. Spoil yourselves. Spoil your families. Save up money for the new Nintendo Switch whenever it comes out. The newer one. The real new one. And, you know, I love you guys for it, and I love you guys for the support, but you guys are already doing more than enough. You're the jury. Do you agree? Do you disagree? I want to hear down in the comments below. This is why I opened the channel in the first place, to give people real reviews from people like you and I, honest people, not paid for reviewers, that help them make better informed decisions. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. Like, subscribe, hit that bell button. It helps the algorithm a lot, which lets people find us, because I don't do any advertising. It's all word of mouth. And look how good we did for, what, less than 2 years. Not bad. But, you know, because I was just here in YouTube, but I actually took the channel serious for 2 years. We're doing pretty good, over 8,000 subscribers, just word of mouth. I want people to find this channel and to find the truth, to get information from people like you and I, to get out there and hear the jury, which is you guys, so people can make better informed decisions and they don't get ripped off by paid-for reviewers. So definitely like, subscribe, hit that bell button, and share it with everybody you know. Let's make this family grow, and let's spread honesty and love throughout the world. Have a good one, y'all. Take care. Bye. As always, guys, if you like what you see, self-funded here, be sure to check out all my other stuff, from mini-series to unboxings to technology, you know, and Nintendo reviews and 3D printer reviews and all that good stuff. If you like what you see, the only way you can help the channel is by liking this video, subscribing, and hitting that bell button. As many more cool videos to come. Definitely want you guys in it, and I want you guys to be vocal. Definitely comment down below. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Have a good one, y'all. Take care. Bye.